In this video, I'm going to cover everything I know about how to turn yourself into a profitable business as a solo creator or business owner. Most people think that you need to have a huge audience online or post content all day to make an income on social media. But there's an entirely different path that a small percentage of people follow to build and scale profitable businesses that gives them time, location, and financial freedom in their lives. And I know this because over the last 2 years, I've built and scaled 3 digital businesses to 5 and 6 figures in income as a solopreneur without a huge audience or creating endless content. So in this video, I'll walk you through the 4-step process of turning yourself into a profitable digital business. And I'll share all my systems and templates to help you get started or fast track on your journey. Now, if you're creating content online, you're on one of these 2 paths. Path number 1 is the content creator path. This is where you're creating content every single day, chasing likes and views, and hoping that somehow those views will be converted into an income for you. Maybe you have some random products or offer that you sell online, but you have no strategy on how to turn that into a sustainable income. Path number 2 is the business creator path. This is where you have a business or an offer as a central foundation, and all your content is strategically aligned to build trust, connection, and authority with your ideal audience. So you can attract an audience who want to buy from you, and then you can turn that into a profitable business. Now, if you're in path number 1, where you're creating content, building your personal brand, but you're not really sure how to turn that into a profitable business, then this video will give you everything you need to know to go from path 1 to path 2, which is becoming a business creator, where you're running a business that's built around you and your lifestyle, so you can have time, location, and financial freedom. And if you're already on path number 2, but your business isn't sustainable or your offer isn't selling consistently, then this video will give you a step-by-step plan to structure your business profitably so you can generate a sustainable income from your digital business. Now, before we get in, I want to remove any doubt you might have if this is possible or not. I want to tell you watching this video right now that you can do it. I'll share my own journey with you, for example. I'll be honest, doing this social media thing is kind of weird for me because I'm really an introvert. Although I've been building digital businesses since 2020, but I never really wanted to be on camera or come on social media because I always felt like it was very cringe. And I always just thought too much about what other people around me would think about this. So I procrastinated for a long time before doing this whole content thing. And before getting into the world of business, I was a professional athlete. I played competitive squash as a junior for 10 years, and then I played as a touring professional for 3 years before I finally made the decision to step away from the pro tour during the pandemic in 2020. Quitting professional squash was a huge decision for me. From being number 2 in the world in under 19s to traveling the world as a touring professional, the sport was literally my entire life. And when I had to quit, I felt lost, confused, and overwhelmed about the future. But I was pursuing my undergrad in business at the time. So I focused on that, and then I worked as a marketing analyst for a year and a half. But I quickly realized that the corporate life wasn't something where I wanted to spend the rest of my life. So at the end of 2021, I got an opportunity to start a squash academy. So I started that, and in just 1 year, I was making significantly more than my corporate job. Although I enjoyed the coaching business and the money was great, but I still didn't have something I truly valued, which was time and location freedom. Around that time was when I got first introduced to the world of online business. So the first online business I actually started was my coaching academy business that I turned into a hybrid model. And I started working with clients around the world, and this was all without any audience, only from the network and the connections I had created while competing as a professional. Then in 2023, I started another business because I wanted to do something aside from my coaching business, something that would allow me to use my marketing expertise. So I built a newsletter media business around tech and AI, and I sold it for a decent 5-figure paycheck later on. And that was my first stab at creating content online. After that, I saw an opportunity in the video and animation space. You've probably seen these types of animations on your Instagram at some point. So I did that for other creators, and I built an animations agency with my brother, and I took that to $70,000. Then in the summer of 2024 was when I first started creating content online for myself. Initially, I started on Twitter because I was too much of an introvert to come on camera. So I actually grew a small Twitter audience of 6.5K followers. And that was the starting point of content creation for me. But a few months later, I got burned out because I was creating content every day consistently, getting likes, getting followers, but I wasn't making any income from it. So I took a step back from creating content and I focused on scaling my coaching business while I reevaluated what to do next. Then in January of 2025, I launched Productize Yourself. It first started off as a newsletter when I would just use my email list to get clients and help creators and business owners build digital businesses. Then later, I expanded into digital products, and that was the biggest unlock for my income. When I look back and reflect, I realized that there's been a common link among all the businesses and things I've built. They were all around the skills and expertise I naturally had. And that's the unfair advantage you can have when you understand the power of productizing yourself. It doesn't matter whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, you have a unique productizable knowledge, something that you know so well that you can turn it into a product and sell it. Productizing yourself is simply the art of turning yourself into a business that's a natural extension of who you are, a business that's built around you, your lifestyle, your unique set of skills, experiences, and interests. When you combine these things, you come up with something truly unique that makes you stand out from everyone else because nobody else has a unique set of skills, experiences, and interests as you do. See, the fact is, nobody can compete with you at being you, and that is your biggest unfair advantage. Now, I can just sit here and tell you follow these steps and you'll be successful. But the truth is, I would just be setting you up for failure because you are unique and you have had your own unique journey with your own unique experiences. And your unfair advantage isn't the same as mine. My goal here is to help you identify your unique unfair advantage and then walk you through a process of how you can turn that into a profitable business and also give you all the tools and the systems I've built over the last 3 to 5 years to help you fast track on your journey. Now, if you want to succeed online and build a profitable business on social media, then you need to have a long-term approach. And I know it's easier said than done because you want it all right now. But I promise you, if you rush this process, it will only lead you to failure. What I suggest is that you prepare yourself for a 3-year period because this isn't some get-rich-quick scheme. It's a full-time business you're building and running, and that requires time, effort, and focus. Let me put it this way. If your ultimate goal is to have time, location, and financial freedom in life, does it really matter how long it takes to achieve it? What is the other option you have? Live your life on someone else's term? For me, personally, it didn't matter how long it took. I just knew I will make it work. The timeline didn't matter. Now, let me be clear so there's no confusion. When I say a 3-year period, I don't mean that you're not going to be making any money in that time frame. You most definitely will. But don't have an expectation that you will become a millionaire in a year and you will just live your dream life all of a sudden. It is most definitely possible, but to get to that level, it requires a long and focused period of building, as it does with any business. If you approach it with this long-term mentality, then you will succeed. I have this mental framework that I tell myself, which helps me stay on track and not get demotivated. And it goes, work without expecting an immediate reward, and you'll be rewarded way beyond your expectations. If you are on path number 1, the content creator path, you have likely experienced the following things. You're confused about your niche and you don't know which niche to choose because you're a multi-passionate person. Or you find content creation very overwhelming because you don't know how to come up with ideas or how to create content or what type of content to post. Or you're building an audience but you're struggling to monetize it. Now, here are 4 reasons why you experience this. Reason number 1 is that you're stuck in the personal branding trap. And it's because of the misconceptions that you have about personal branding. See, creating content about your life is not personal brand. Following your passion and talking about it online is not personal brand. Having followers also doesn't mean that you have a personal brand. Your personal brand is about your ideas and philosophies, and your ability to make people connect with you and see you as an authority. The main objective of a personal brand is to show who you are in a monetizable way. The game of business becomes 10 times easier if you can do that. Because if you can build a strong trust with your audience, you can literally pivot anytime you want and your audience will follow. Especially if you're a multi-passionate person, this can be a massive game changer for you. Reason number 2 is that you feel like an imposter. You have this false belief that you're not an expert, when in reality, you actually are. But it's just that you're blinded by your own knowledge. I call this the curse of knowledge blindness. It's when you know something so well that it's second nature to you, so you feel like it's common knowledge when it's actually not. Reason number 3 is that you're trapped on a content hamster wheel. You're constantly creating content, chasing likes and followers, but you don't know how to monetize them. You have to let go of this misconception that followers that you have on social media is your audience. No, it's the platform's audience and you're just renting it from them. If you don't funnel your followers onto your email list as leads, you will always struggle to monetize. And finally, the reason number 4 is that you have this false belief that you need to build a big audience first and then you can monetize it. That is not true at all. You only need to have a small, hyper-specific audience that wants to buy from you. I always say this: followers give you likes, buyers give you cash. If you want to build a profitable business on social media, only focus on building an audience of buyers. And the difference in the type of audience you attract depends on the type of content you create, which I will talk about in step 3. I've broken down the process of productizing yourself into 4 steps. Step 1 is identifying and extracting your unique productizable knowledge. Step 2 is crafting a productized offer using your unique productizable knowledge. Step 3 is creating a content system that helps you attract an audience of buyers. And finally, step 4 is building a system to convert the audience into paying customers and clients. I'll break down each step in proper details, so I'd highly recommend that you watch the whole breakdown so you don't miss out on any crucial information. So first, let's define what unique productizable knowledge is. Your unique productizable knowledge is the knowledge that you acquire on your own unique journey. It's the combination of your past problems, skill set, and your intellectual property, and the dream outcome that you can deliver by turning it into a product. Here's a framework that you can use to identify and extract your unique productizable knowledge. I call this the PSID framework: problems, skill set, intellectual property, and dream outcome. First, for problems, think about the challenging problems you were facing 3 to 5 years ago. Then the skill sets will be the skills that you used to solve those problems. The intellectual property is the unique approach you took to solve the problem. And finally, the dream outcome is how you can help others achieve something or solve something by combining the skill set and the intellectual property. Here's an exercise I walk my clients through to help them find their unique productizable knowledge. This is the PSID template, which is one of the blueprints I have inside my vault that I offer. I'll walk you through it to find your unique knowledge. First, make a list of 3 to 5 challenging problems you were facing 3 to 5 years ago. For example, the problems could be the problems that were stopping you from making the money that you wanted, or the problems that you were facing in your career or business, or the problems that you were facing in your personal life that others might face as well related to health or relationships. Then step 2 is for each problem, list down 3 to 5 skills that you use to solve the problems that you listed above. For example, let's say if I had a problem that I was skinny and I was struggling to put on muscle, the skill I used to solve the problem would be that I developed a training program and I learned how to track my macros properly. And I created a system that helped me stay consistent with my training. And step 3 is choose one problem from the list of 3 to 5 problems that you noted above. And choose one based on the following criteria. Is this a problem that other people would be interested in solving? Or is this a problem that falls into one of these categories of health, wealth, and relationship? And number 3 is that, are you interested in helping others solve this problem? The problem you chose has to fit into these criteria for it to be productizable. However, if you're still confused about one or more problems, pick one that you feel most competent at solving. Then step 4 is about identifying your intellectual property. So for the problems that you picked, think about how your approach was different from the traditional approach other people take to achieve the result that you did. List down 2 to 3 things that you did uniquely different. For example, if my problem was that I was skinny and I was struggling to put on muscle, what I did differently from others was that I didn't eat anything extra and I only worked out 40 minutes a day. Now, that's different from the traditional approach people take when they're facing a similar problem. They're told to eat a lot and work out more. However, my approach was completely opposite and it still worked. So that makes my approach an intellectual property of mine. Then finally, step 5 is reverse the problem into a dream outcome. So for example, if you take the same example again, if the problem is being skinny and struggling to put on muscle, then the dream outcome would be gain 3 to 5 pounds of muscle mass in less than 90 days. So you see how by following this simple exercise, you can identify and extract your unique productizable knowledge that you can package and sell. Now, this is only the first part, because packaging is where the real magic happens. And that what makes your knowledge unique and one of a kind. People have this misconception that you need to come up with something revolutionary or truly unique for it to stand out, but that's not the case at all. You can make something unique just by how you package it. I have 13 knowledge packaging frameworks, which are essentially 13 different ways to position your unique knowledge in a way that makes you stand out. To give you an example, I'll pick one of the frameworks at random to show you how it works. So here I use framework number 5, which is the phase and the benefit process system. And this is what I created. 90-40 mass gainer system on how to gain 3 to 5 pounds of muscle mass in less than 90 days without eating extra and only working out 40 minutes a day. Now, all of a sudden, you have a unique proprietary solution for the problem that you solve, and it provides a dream outcome that your audience wants. A lot of people struggle with finding their niche or the business idea, but PSID framework can make this process very simple and easy. Once you have identified your unique productizable knowledge, step 2 is crafting a productized offer using your unique productizable knowledge. One of the misconceptions that people have about creating an offer is that they think they need to offer a huge promise or a crazy transformation to sell the offer, which can be very overwhelming if you don't have that much experience in the start. If you have the experience and you have the testimonials, then great, you should definitely include that in your offer. But if you don't have the experience, you don't necessarily need it to create and sell the offer. Here's what I recommend you do. Write down the dream outcome that you help others achieve. Then what is the step-by-step process someone would have to follow from scratch if you were helping them to achieve this outcome? Then once you have that process, ask yourself, is there any resource or is there something that you can offer them to help them get there faster, like any blueprints, templates, or any frameworks? These resources will become your MVPO, minimum valuable productized offer. And I also call this the ATC offer, which is audience to customer offer. These will help you turn your audience into paying customers. Here's an example of how that works. Let's say you help busy professionals get in shape with working out only less than an hour a day. Now that's the dream outcome that you offer. Your ATC offer could be a meal plan workbook or a workout building template. That's something that your customer or a client can use in their transformation journey to achieve the dream outcome. Let me give you another example. Let's say you are a marketing specialist and you help founders and entrepreneurs with building personal brand and content marketing. Now, the dream outcome that you provide is to build a well-established personal brand online. Your MVPO could be a 1-hour personal branding workshop where you walk people through how to build a personal brand as a founder. Or your MVPO could be a curated list of content templates that founders can use to save time and speed up their content creation process. Your MVPO is basically a small introductory offer, which is essentially part of your core offer. But you can splinter it away and sell it as a product by itself. Your core offer can be a one-on-one service like coaching, consulting, or a done-for-you type of service, or it could be a paid community where you offer support and guidance with daily calls or weekly calls. Or you could have some sort of group coaching or a cohort style of experience as well. Just pick one and focus on building that. You can always change and pivot later, but you can't and you shouldn't be doing more than one at the same time. Now, here's why this way of productizing your offer is so effective. See, not everyone in your audience wants to buy the same thing. Every person is a different type of buyer. Some might be long term buyers, those who want consistent help and guidance. Others might be short term buyers, those who want the immediate help and solution. But when you structure your offer using the offer pyramid, you can sell to all types of buyers in your audience without creating multiple offers. The best part about this is that it allows you to generate some cash flow upfront while you can build your core offer in the backend. And once you have your core offer ready to launch, your ATC offer works as a magnet to attract those customers into your core offer. Just keep this in the back of your mind because in step 4, we'll revisit this again. Step 3 is creating a system to attract an audience of buyers. This step is probably the most crucial one. I call this the follower versus buyer dilemma. And this is the reason why so many creators fail to monetize and build a profitable business on social media. Because you can build an audience of followers by posting generic value content like quick tips, hacks, and stuff. You'll probably get some likes and followers, but when it's time to launch something and you want to sell to those followers, they will disappear. And that's because when you post random value content and you talk about the same generic stuff, you're conditioning your audience to see you as a free resource. They watch, they like, they save your content, but they don't buy. Because in their mind, they can get that same thing for cheaper, or they can find that same information online. See, chasing virality keeps you stuck and always looking at vanity metrics that don't even matter. You start chasing empty views that don't translate into anything tangible. And that leads to burnout. Because one day you might have some views and you're all excited because of the dopamine hit. Then the next day you're back to your average views and your dopamine levels crash. When that happens, you feel down, you feel demotivated, and you start looking for viral content again because you want that dopamine hit again. That feeling you had when you saw your content views go up. The reason I know this in such detail is because I've experienced it myself. I did the whole chasing viral content game, and it only led to burnout. But my goal here is to get you to path number 2, which is the business creator path. As a business creator, you don't create content for attention. You create content to attract buyers. You don't obsess over going viral. You focus on turning your knowledge into an income. Instead of chasing followers, you focus on attracting a small, hyper-specific audience that want to buy from you. And that's the mental shift you have to make. If you remember, I said before that the type of audience you attract depends on the type of content you create. Your content needs to speak to your audience's desires, pain points, and beliefs. In terms of desires, think about what underlying desires your audience have, or what feelings will they experience when they'll achieve the dream outcome that you offer. In terms of pain points, think about what pains do they want to avoid. What are their frustrations? These are usually related to time, money, or perceived effort. Your content should address how your audience can decrease time, save or make money, and reduce the effort required to achieve the dream outcome. And lastly, in terms of beliefs, think about what false belief does your audience have that limits them or prevents them from achieving the dream outcome. If I was to summarize this whole thing, basically, your content needs to shift your audience beliefs, help them overcome their pain points, and build a desire by making them see the dream outcome in their mind. The easiest way to do that is by using the offer-centric content system. Offer-centric content system allows you to create content that attracts an audience who want to buy from you so you can generate sales instead of chasing likes and views. And it can do that because each piece of content you create comes from the offer that you have. And it naturally drives people back to your offer without having to do any hard selling. It basically does 3 things. It helps your audience form a new identity by breaking the false beliefs that are holding them back from achieving what they want. It shifts your audience mindset by addressing the internal and external point of views. And it shows them how they can achieve the dream outcome faster and in a more predictable way by using your unique methodologies. I'll give you a rundown of how you can build your own offer-centric content system. You want to keep your offer as a central foundation of the system. Your offer is essentially the dream outcome you help your audience achieve. Now, all your content should be aligned with this offer. Step 1 is you define your content pillars, which are identity building, mindset shifting, and your unique methodologies. Then break down each pillar into 3 topics. So choose 3 of the most common false beliefs that your audience has, 3 of the most common internal and external beliefs that your audience has, which prevents them from achieving the dream outcome that your offer provides. And lastly, 3 of your key methodologies that help your audience achieve the dream outcome faster. Then for content creation, you need to choose one platform for short form, like X, Instagram, TikTok, or LinkedIn. This depends on who your target audience is. So if your target audience is more like professionals or B2B, choose LinkedIn or X because that's the platform who has that type of audience. For any other type of audience like B2C, choose Instagram or TikTok. I recommend Instagram because you can find all type of audiences on Instagram and it has the highest number of users. Then you need to choose one platform for long form. Think YouTube or podcasting. And lastly, one platform to build an audience that you can truly own, which is your email list. And you can use Beehive or ConvertKit for this. Once you've chosen the platforms, next what you need to do is optimize your social profile. Make sure you have a clear looking headshot and a clear bio that highlights who you help, what you help them achieve or solve, and how you help them do it. Here's a template that you can follow for this. In the first line, you write I help or helping, then you write down who you help. In the second line, you write get or achieve, and then you write down the dream outcome that you provide or the problem that you solve. And in line 3, you write using the name, and then you write down the name of your unique methodology. Now, I know when it comes to content, one of the biggest challenges you'll probably face is coming up with engaging and valuable content ideas. Or if you have ideas, you probably struggle with creating content consistently. So here's a simple content operating system I recommend you follow. This is the exact system I use to create 14 to 20 posts every single week. And it only takes me less than 1 hour a day to create them. First, you need to build your content idea vault. Now, there are 2 ways you can do this. First one is you go to your Instagram and search up the keyword that is related to your offer or the dream outcome that you help people achieve. If we take an example of a career coach, a keyword would be resume. Do a research for that word and then go to the Reels tab and save any reel that has over 500,000 views. Use Notion or Google Spreadsheets where you can store all these ideas. Note down their hooks and add the video link so you can refer back to it. Then you can just use the exact same hook, but add your own script to it that's related to your offer and topic. Second way is using AI research with ChatGPT. This is probably the best thing I've discovered in my content creation process. Go to ChatGPT and enter this prompt. You're an expert content strategist. I want you to come up with 5 proven content ideas for your target audience who want to achieve. Then you write down the dream outcome. The content ideas should address the false beliefs that your audience has, and you write down the false beliefs and the internal and the external beliefs that are preventing them from achieving the dream outcome. And then give the content idea and brief outline of what should be discussed in each content idea. This AI research method has been a game changer for me because I can come up with content ideas whenever I want. And I know the content ideas are validated and they're aligned with my offer. Once you have at least 10 content ideas in your vault, now all you need to do is just pick one and start creating. It's a content creation workflow you can follow to create more content in less time. Step 1 is start by writing your email first. And your email should be no more than 500 words, short, to the point, and engaging. Something that your audience can read under 3 to 4 minutes. After that, now you can use this one content piece to create 2 to 3 more pieces. Step 2 is you turn your email into a reel script or a carousel. Step 3 is you take the key idea from the reel script or the carousel and you turn that into a static image post, which can also be posted as a reel. This is how you can turn one piece of content into 3 and have multiple pieces of content to post in different styles and formats. And lastly, for your posting schedule, I see that a lot of people overcomplicate the whole posting thing, getting confused about what is the best time to post, how many times you should post, and whatnot. Here's the thing. You don't need to overthink this. Truthfully, you can post as many times as you like, and you can post whatever time you like as well. However, if you want a more specified schedule, then here's a posting schedule you can follow. Post 1 to 3 times a day and post between 6 a.m. and 8 p.m. of your local standard time. Just avoid posting really late at night because the social media activity is the lowest at that time. And that's all you need to follow. Keep it easy and simple. Now, the most important piece you have to make sure of is that you're building your email list as you're posting content on social. Because, like I said earlier, having followers might look nice, but on social media, you're always fighting the algorithm. Your audience is on a rented land, and the platform has full control over who to show your content to. So you need to build your audience where you have full control. And the only place you can do that is your email list. So to build your email list, there are two ways. First is organically, where you post content and in the captions or in the content itself, you can push people to comment certain words and then the automation will do the rest for you. Or the second route is paid content, where you can just run targeted ads to acquire email subscribers. I recommend using a hybrid approach. In my experience, it works the best because organic can give you the free growth, whereas paid content can amplify and increase your email growth. Another reason why you need an email list is because it helps you separate the buyers from the followers. People who have subscribed to your email list have already shown interest by taking an actual action to opt in. That's why the email has the highest conversion rate, because your email audience has more trust with you because that connection is more personal since they have taken an extra step to engage with you. Now, once you have all these components in place, the next step is about building a system to convert your audience into paying customers. All right, so this is the step where you build your funnel. There's a misconception people have that a funnel is some complicated marketing technique. Honestly, I was one of these people as well. I thought the exact same thing until I realized that's not the case at all. A funnel is just a simple process to turn your audience into customers and then ascend them into becoming recurring clients of your business. Think of your funnel like a coffee shop. If a new person comes in for the first time to try out your coffee and they like how you have made their order, they're likely to keep coming back to your shop. That's why people often use the same type of brands, products, and services. When that happens, that one-time customer is no longer just a customer. They have become a client for your business. And that's essentially what your funnel does for your business. Your top of funnel bring the leads in, you convert them into customers with ATC offers, and then you ascend them into becoming clients with your core offer. This is what I call the ACC funnel. ACC funnel is just an automated system that allows you to turn your audience into customer and then naturally ascend them into becoming clients. What makes ACC funnel different from other funnels is that it removes the friction your audience has when it comes to buying. Traditional funnels are broken because here's how they work. You get a lead or a follower and you push them to your offer. But let's take a step back and see it from the audience's point of view. They don't know much about you, they haven't built enough trust with you, and you're asking them to invest a decent sum of money with you. There's a lot of friction there. ACC funnel removes that friction by turning your audience into customers first. Your goal is to get as many people as you can into your core offer. However, for a big portion of your audience, that might be a big commitment. By adding an ATC offer in the middle, you can make that conversion process more natural while also increasing your customer lifetime value by making a profit on the front end with the ATC offer and on the back end with your core offer. The reason why this is much more effective is because a customer is 10 times more likely to become a client because they've already invested with you. Now, here's how you can systemize and automate this. You get a lead, which is your email subscriber, and once they've joined your email list, they get a one-time offer to buy your MVPO or your ATC offer. If they buy it, they have completed the audience to customer conversion process. If they don't buy it, the automation continues and they get 7 days of valuable insights that helps them achieve the dream outcome with an offer to buy the ATC offer in the end. On day 6, you send them a reminder email that the offer is expiring tomorrow to create more urgency so they can finally pull the trigger. All of this is happening on autopilot while you focus on creating more content, growing your audience, and ascending them into becoming customers and clients. We've covered a lot of things, so let's do a recap of everything. Here's the 4-step process of turning yourself into a profitable business. Step 1 is you identifying your unique productizable knowledge. Step 2 is crafting a productized offer using your unique productizable knowledge. You package your unique knowledge into an offer that can help others achieve a dream outcome. Step 3 is creating a content system that attracts an audience of buyers. This is where you create a simple and repeatable content system that you can use to consistently create content that attracts an audience who want to buy from you. Finally, step 4 is building a system to convert audience into paying customers. This is where you create an automated process that runs in the background that helps you turn your audience into paying customers without you having to do any work. And that's it. This is the 4-step process you can use to turn yourself into a profitable business that gives you time, location, and financial freedom. If you need my help with all of this, this is what I help other solo creators and business owners do inside my program, Productize Yourself. It's applications only with limited spots, so you can add your name to the waitlist below. In the meantime, if you want more help implementing these steps, you can access my step-by-step blueprints and workshops below as well. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.